pushed it away. "So, what are you up to today?" Rohan said. "More pets?" He shook his head and tutted, but he was smiling. "I don't know why you do it. You should be focusing on your real work, going to galleries, looking at books, I don't know. Nobody ever got inspired painting dogs. And no gallery ever bought Rufus, the series." He laughed. I closed my eyes as I let out an imperceptible sigh. We'd been here before. "As Picasso said," I told him, "inspiration exists, but it has to find us working." Rohan moved his head in time with the words. He'd heard that before, too. "I'm doing a home visit today," I said. His eyebrows shot up. "A home visit?" "Yep." Rohan looked at me then, his head tilted, the ghost of a frown lining his forehead. "I thought they were supposed to upload photos. Wasn't that the whole point of the website?" He shook his head and smiled indulgently. "You're too soft." I went over to him and put my hands on his shoulders, feeling the heat of his skin under his shirt as I gave him a little massage. "It's a one-off." Rohan leaned back into my hands. "Yeah, that's good. Right there." He groaned as my fingers released the tension in his muscles, and I realised that, with one thing or another, we hadn't touched properly for a day or two. That was unusual for us. New York really was taking a toll. "Look," Rohan said, "you're the best judge, of course, but I really think you need to focus on your next collection and stop messing about. You've exhibited in London, hun. It was a sellout. You can do it again." His voice softened. "You're good." He reached up and squeezed my hands. "I hate it when you sell yourself short." He stood up and touched his lips to mine. The tension went out of me as I relaxed into the kiss, and, for a few moments, there was no New York, no Grace, no house, no masterpiece waiting to be painted. Just the feel of my husband's mouth on mine, and the familiar smell of his skin. But then he pulled away reluctantly, stroking a finger across my cheek as he did so. "Hold that feeling, gorgeous. Save it for tonight." His hand slid down my body, round my waist and across my bum. "I've got to run." He winked as he looked around for his keys and his briefcase. And that was it. The moment to bring up the topic of Grace was lost. But what I didn't realise then was that the longer I held the information inside me, secret and burning, the harder it would be to tell him. Rohan didn't know Grace, or the effect she had on me. But I did. I'd lived with her before. 2. Rohan closed the front door with a bang, leaving a shocked silence that reverberated through the house. I sat for a moment, with my head in my hands and my eyes half closed, and let my mind wander. Under my eyelids, I could see the kitchen as it used to be, before we coated its walls with glossy units and smothered the old lino floor with laminate, before we fitted the built-in appliances and the gleaming new oven. It was all there. The foundations of the old Victorian house, as well as the transient energy of those who'd occupied it throughout the past century. If I concentrated hard enough, I could sometimes catch echoes of them, a snatch of the adults who'd lived and loved within these four walls, of the children who'd grown up here. Their breaths had brushed this very ceiling, had become a part of the fabric of the house. Their thoughts and emotions had impregnated the walls. To my mind, these people still existed, trapped in layers, like coats of paint, behind the cabinets and the shiny glass tiles. In the hall, the grandfather clock we'd inherited with the house ticked off the seconds, each tick a textured drop of sound that swelled and burst, adding its own shape to the canvas of the house. My breathing slowed, and, between my half-closed lids, I pictured the girl who'd lived here before slip into the kitchen, her hair in a ponytail, clean uniform on, ready for school. I watched as she poured cereal into a bowl, added milk, taking care not to spill it, closed the old pine-fronted fridge, and sat at the table to eat her breakfast. She was sweet, and I could tell by the pride she'd taken in her uniform that she was conscientious too. She read while she ate, one of the thicker Harry Potter tomes. It was advanced for her age, which I took to be 7 or 8 today, and I smiled my admiration, proud like a mother. Not that she